Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And yes, I'm not dead. Today, with you guys, is another movie review. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? Today we're tackling the latest DC film, or I guess I should say the first DC Studios film, or film in the DCU, whatever you want to call it, Superman. And yeah, now look, I just want to get this out of the way before I officially start the review. I do love the film. I'll get into why. There's a few things I don't like, but I generally love it. I also generally and genuinely love the Snyderverse, right? I love Man of Steel. I love Batman v Superman. Hell, I even love Suicide Squad from 2013 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I for the most part love a lot DC in general. So me saying I love Superman from James Gunn does not say I hate Snyder Man of Steel, right? I know there's a big contention. You guys know me. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I love all Star Wars, at least the canon Star Wars stuff. For the most part, I think it's all really, really great. And, you know, I get a lot of crap for that, which, you know, I don't care anymore. I really don't. But, you know, for DC, it's a little bit different, right? I mean, you don't really hear a whole lot about, oh, this, you know, the Star Wars vitriol is crazy. DC's whatever. But I think that people are really up in arms, you know, and I just want to let you guys know that, yeah, you can like both, right? You can like every version of Superman. This is not a... you know, I love David Cornsweet, so that means I hate Henry Cavill. Like, no, like, I think they're both good versions. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of let that, I guess, seek in, or, you know, pour into your minds, right? I love both. Now, this film itself is the brand new beginning of the DCU. Obviously, we have gotten stuff in the DCU that is canon, right? For all you crazy nerds like myself, you get Creature Commandos, the animated show, Peacemaker Season 1, except for, like, 1 or 2 shots in the end. Peacemaker Season 2 is canon, obviously. Apparently, the Suicide Squad is canon, but, like, distant certain parts, I don't know. Look, James Gunn's a good filmmaker, okay? But in terms, he's a bit of a weirdo, but in terms of establishing, you know, lore or canon in DCU, not too great. He's kind of more. He's done more damage than good, I feel, because you know, I'm a massive canon dude, especially for Star Wars. If something's canon in Star Wars, I want my little grubby mitts all over that puppy, right? Metaphorically. But at the same time, with DC, it's like, yeah, cool, I want to do the same, but I just don't know what the heck is canon or not, you know, so who knows? But at this point, it's kind of what I said, and of course, the new Superman film is as well. And it's wild, man. I mean, the DCEU started off with the Superman movie, and now the DCU starting off with the Superman movie. And it's good. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it is. Like, straight up, James Gunn is a good filmmaker. I mean, I love the Guardians trilogy. I guess he wrote Scooby-Doo 1 and 2. So there's that. I love the Suicide Squad. Obviously, I haven't seen Peacemaker yet, but, you know, this is... I want to say this is probably, for me, like, below Guardians 3, just a little bit. But as a DC film... I mean, this is straight up one of the best DC films of all time. I mean, when I think of, you know, like, my go-to DC films, I'm thinking Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, you know, Snyder Cut, Aquaman, The Batman, Dark Knight Trilogy, Joker 1, Joker 2, and this. I have seen other DC films that I like, but I think those are my, you know, go-to standout DC projects, or at least films. And this film is great in a numerous amount of ways, right? I mean, obviously, you've got the amazing soundtrack, you know, the actual songs they use, as well as the, you know, score, I should say, right? That kind of element to it, which is just John Williams' score, which is also really good. Little bit of a flair to it, but it's still really good and nostalgic, and it makes you feel right at home. This Superman, though, I want to give shout out to David Cornsweet. He's only been in this one thing, but he might be my favorite Superman actor. There's these little things that he does where, you know, and again, I am drawing a comparison here to Man of Steel. I'm not going to do this a lot, but I just want to hammer this point home. In Man of Steel, Superman, and Batman v Superman, and maybe Justice League, I don't remember. He does... Henry Cavill's Superman does save people, right? He doesn't just, like, blow up buildings and commit 9/11 times 50, right? You know, like, he's still a good person. But, you know, there are moments in Man of Steel where, you know, there's buildings falling down, and I'm assuming a lot of people die. And, you know, he has this these scenes where, you know, a building collapses and he dodges a I don't know, fuel truck or something blows up or whatever, some crazy shit's going down, and Superman just, like, you know, flies around it or dodges it, and then he, you know, Henry Cavill does this pose, like this heroic pose where he, you know, stretches his chin out really wide, and he has this, like, you know, crazy chin, you know, glare, you know, promotional, awesome superhero pose, and it's like, cool, that looked awesome, right? But I think a lot of people just, you know, died. But, you know, in this, David Cornswell plays a Superman that is still, you know, the embodiment of what he's supposed to look like, at least when he's Superman. But there are moments, and I'm not going to spoil it, but there's moments where, you know, buildings are about to fall in certain instances, and instead of Superman dodging it and letting the monster or the whatever hit the building and the building falls down, he actually, like, stops the monster from hitting the building. And, like, the only damage to the building is a little crack in the window, right? That's it. And then he asks, is everyone okay? And then he gets hit or whatever, right? Or there's moments where he saves children. And I know Henry did that as well. Again, I'm not stupid. But little moments like that, right? Like, Superman will you know, save a dog with his freeze breath. Or, you know, he's fighting a giant monster, and he stops the monster. It's like holding the monster's foot up, and he saves a squirrel, right? Like, this is the Superman that cares not only about people, but about animals, robots, whatever. This Superman is a good person. And I'm not saying Henry isn't. I'm just saying what this one is. And I think, to me, you know, seeing him save squirrels and creatures and robots or little kids or whatever, right? That makes me feel more like, oh, this is my Superman, right? Yes, he's badass and he's flying throughout the city. He's using his heat vision. He's punching bad guys. He's destroying robots. He's doing all the stuff you would want Superman to do, right? He has that, and he brings that titanic level of action, but he also has the moments where, yeah, he's a superhero. Superheroes, they don't just beat the shit out of people, right? They help people. They help children and animals and adults and women and men. You know what I mean? Like, they help everyone. That's their point. And I think some superhero movies kind of forget that superheroes are there to help people at the end of the day. First and foremost, right? Yeah, superheroes have crazy, awesome action scenes and amazing fight choreography and incredible stories and all that. But, you know, they are still there to help people. And this version really, really hammers that home. I think the version of hope and you know, all that is very much there. This is a very human Superman. I really, really like the fact that, you know, I guess the stigma behind Superman is that, oh, Superman's really boring, right? Because, oh, what's his weakness? Kryptonite? Okay, whoop-de-frickin-do. He's basically powerful as a god, right? He can't kill him. He's pretty much invulnerable. He's invincible. He's boring, right? Why should I care? He's boring. And then what does this movie do? What does this trailer do? The trailer for this film literally opens with Superman plummeting to Antarctica or whatever, you know, near the Fortress of Solitude, and he's bleeding, and he needs Krypto, and he needs help, right? And that is an amazing thing for a trailer, but also the movie, because it you know, tells the audience basically from square one, this is a Superman that is not going to be boring. This is a Superman that is going to get hurt. He is going to have trouble. He is going to be stressed. He's going to have all these crazy human emotions, and he's also still going to be powerful and awesome, right? We're in this era, obviously, whenever there's a woman on screen, oh, it's woke, oh, it's woke, it's woke! And, of course, James Gunn had to, you know, spout in the interviews, this movie's about immigration. And it's like, oh, you know, whether you're left or right, I really don't care. People threw a hissy fit about it. And lo and behold, the movie's not woke at all, unless I really missed something. There is zero political... I mean, there's, you know, somewhat, you know, it's not like... It's not, you know, forcing anything down your throat, so to speak. That's what I mean. And that's a good thing, right? Like, again, this is just a good superhero action film. But again, this version of Superman really, really hammers home that, yeah, he is vulnerable, but he's not weak, right? I remember when Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny came out, which is my favorite Indiana Jones movie, at least the best made, I think. And, you know, like, Indy is very much portrayed as a aging hero, right? He's not portrayed as a weak man who cries in the corner and lets the hapless woman do the job, right? Like all the morons on Reddit were saying before the movie came out. Oh, well, the movie's actually great. Wow! You know, too bad no one effing saw it. That's another story. But, yeah, like this version of Superman, yeah, he gets hurt. He needs Krypto, his little super dog, right? He needs Hawk Girl and Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific and Lois and whoever. But there are also scenes where he is still beating up bad guys, and he's doing these crazy awesome action scenes without the help of anyone. So I really want people to know, if you're hesitant, this is not a film where he's just completely powerless, right? Which is really nice. Like I said, the music is great. The acting is really great. I think besides David embodying what I think Superman should be the best, I think he is a very good actor in this. He has a lot of emotion. Obviously, as Clark Kent, he's got the weird black broccoli hair, which, I mean, whatever. I guess that works because he's supposed to be nerdy. But yeah, I think that, he really does portray Clark Kent well when he's in the Daily Planet. He's not Clark Kent for a lot of the film, but when he is in Clark Kent mode, so to speak, in the Daily Planet, I think it works. I think it's good. I think Lois Lane is well cast. I think she's the best Lois. I enjoyed Amy Adams, but she didn't really look like Lois. I mean, this lady looks like Lois, and she acts like her, and I think it's really good. She does her good amount of reporting, and she takes her job very seriously, and that she obviously has this little argument with Superman or Kal-El or Clark, whatever you want to call him, and Clark is getting kind of mad and upset because, like, Lois is saying, "Oh, well, you illegally entered the country." He's like, "Yeah, well, and she's like, "Well, did you, talk to the president or do anything, politically or anything by the book before you just handled the situation yourself?" And he's like, "No, stupid." And she gets mad, and he gets mad because she's like, "Look, you can't just, you are all powerful pretty much, but you can't act like you're all powerful, right? Like, there has to be some kind of limit to what you're doing. You can't just do whatever the hell you want and get away with it, right? Because then you get Homelander, right? Or you get Brightburn or whatever." And he's getting mad. He's like, "Well, I'm just doing it because people were going to die," right? And he gets all mad. And, like, that shows Lois and also the audience that, yeah, this version of Superman, he loves life. All life, right? Like, there are moments where he could kill a certain person, but he doesn't. There are moments where, he does hold back, even though he shouldn't have to or couldn't, right? Or didn't have to or he's not able to, whatever, right? And I like that. Like, Superman does what he does because he, deep down, is a good person. There's no ulterior motive. There's no, "Oh, I'm a good person, but, I have this crazy scheme," or "I'm doing it because of XYZ. No, he just wants to help people. And to Lois, that's like, well, okay, but there's ramifications for your actions, right? And that kind of leads Clark in this rabbit hole of emotion in this film of who am I, right? And, of course, there is another alternative plot point that goes along with that with his parents, which I won't spoil, but I think it really does kind of go into that element of, who am I, why am I sent to Earth, right? Why was I sent here? What's the goal? What's the purpose and all that? Why am I really here to do good, or maybe something a little sussy-wussy, you know what I mean? So that's all I'll say. But, yeah, I mean, plot point, it's really great. Lex Luthor is great. I think Nicholas Hoult is the best Lex we've had. I didn't hate Jesse Eisenberg, I'm not going to lie, and cave into the internet and say, "Yeah, he sucked." He was fine. Like, I get it, yeah, he was more like the Joker and the Riddler than Lex. I get it, right? He was kind of I don't know if he had, like, a bunch of Adderall or some shit, but he was going crazy in that movie, right? He was, like, he drank, like, 4 Monster cans and 18 Dunkin' drinks, and then they said action. But, I still think he was a fine actor. And obviously they shaved his head at the end of, I think it was BVS, and then, that went nowhere. But, they tried. But no, I mean, I saw the 1978 version, and what's his face? Kevin Spacey. But no, I think that Nicholas Hoult is the best Lex. I mean, he's evil in a way that he's not evil like Thanos evil, where he's like, "I'm gonna murder everyone in the world." Like, he's driven by hate and jealousy by Superman, and he wants to kill this guy by any means necessary. He's petty. He'll kill random people to get to him. He'll kidnap people. He'll do crazy stuff. And a lot of the plot in this movie is actually not featured in the trailer, which is why I can't really talk about it too much because it's still pretty fresh. But there is some crazy stuff that Lex does to kind of, get to him that I think is, pretty interesting. And I think that they handle that quite well. Obviously, the supporting cast is good. You've got Bradley Cooper makes a little appearance. You've got other DCU characters, 1 or 2 that pop up, which is kind of cool, little cameos there. There are 2 post-credit scenes. Both of them are pretty funny. Nothing really world-shatteringly new. This is not like Nick Fury coming to Tony Stark in Iron Man 1. This is just kind of like goofy stuff, but it's still worth seeing. So there are 2, keep that in mind. But yeah, the comedy's good. James Gunn, I think, he gets a lot of flack for a lot of reasons, right? Oh, he does too much comedy. Oh, he has that weird effing, like, FOV for his action scenes where it's like fisheye effect or the character's, like, really friggin' close in the frame. it looks really wonky. I don't mind that stuff. I think it gives them a flair. I think it gives them a unique taste. I've never seen many superhero movies do that FOV look to it. Or, you know, I guess Black Adam kind of jammed his giant face in the screen once or twice during that movie, but I think, you know, it works. I think it's really good. It showcases the speed of Superman, and I think I don't know, I like it. Maybe I'm weird, but the action scenes are great, the choreography is great, the kinetic energy is incredible. Obviously, James Gunn is a very good director with comic book media, so he knows how to make craft an action scene that is fun, sometimes funny, and violent, and action-packed, and exciting, and pretty much everything you want from a comic book film. And pretty much anything, literally, this is the, like, quintessential Superman movie, for like I said, not only for the acting and the writing and the cast, but, you know, the plot, and just the morals, and the messaging, and the editing. I mean, it's also incredible. I mean, Krypto looks almost photoreal. Krypto looks really, really good. As far as negatives, which I'll touch on briefly here, I really don't have that many, obviously, because it's a good movie. Pretty much anyone can agree with that, unless you're a weird Snyder cult member or whatever. I think that the CGI is good. There are a few moments where I feel that it's a little bit lacking. There is I can't say it because it's a spoiler. There is a certain infant or baby in the movie that looks like Dookie, and I don't know why they decided to show this baby or shove this baby in the frame so effing much. They really, really like showing this baby. And I get it, you know, it can't all be, you know, objectively photoreal. But at the same time, if you can make Superman's flight look great, and Krypto look great, and the giant monster that breathes fire look great, and, you know, all this stuff look great, right? The Fortress of Solitude, right? And I know a lot of this stuff is practical sets and whatever, but a lot of the CGI in this movie is incredible. So to have this weird-ass looking baby in the frame that doesn't look incredible for that long amount of time is a bit weird. Obviously, I mean, that's one very tiny negative, but it is something I have to, you know, touch upon because I am reviewing it. The other thing I have an issue with is the supporting cast. Now, I love Mr. Terrific in this, and Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl, right? Those are like the Justice Gang, or whatever he calls it, right? I think Guy Gardner in this is funny. He is an a-hole, but he does come through when needed, like Nathan was saying in the interviews. Obviously, this is not, you know, Hal Jordan, or the White Lantern, or Kyle Rayner, or something like that, or whoever the other guys are. Obviously, there's other, you know, the Star Sapphire, and Atrocitus, and you know, all that, but, you know, this is a more common, known Green Lantern. It's not Hal, but it is Guy Gardner, right? It's like, I would say it's like the second or third most known DC Green Lantern for a lot of people. And he's good. You know, he's great. You know, Nathan Fillion gets a lot of cameos in James Gunn movies, and he's an actual character in this one. And I think he's well written, he's well acted, he's good. Same with Hawkgirl. I think, you know, the last time I saw the chick playing Hawkgirl, she was Dora the Explorer in 2019. So there you go. But she's good in this as well. You know, she's sassy and all that, I guess. But then you get Mr. Terrific, who is the guy from X-Men First Class, which I didn't realize until recently. But he's probably the best out of the three because he gets the most screen time. He gets like a lot of screen time. I mean, there's like a whole side plot with him and Lois. I mean, he gets like a lot of stuff is happening in this movie with him in it, and that's not a bad thing. I think he's a good actor. He looks cool. The jacket's cool. The face mask looks pretty cool. He's, you know, he's acting fine. He's got cool powers and all with the T-spheres or whatever, and it's good. He even gets his own dedicated action scene, complete with a song and a rotating 360-degree FOV camera and everything and jokes. It's incredible. But the only thing about Mr. Terrific being in this movie so much is that it doesn't give Guy and Hawkgirl much room for anything. I mean, there are moments, literally, where, or even Metamorpho, you know, the weird rock guy from the trailer, there's, like, literally moments where, without spoiling it, Mr. Terrific is doing all this stuff. He has all these scenes and all these action scenes and all these things, and then they cut to, like, Guy Gardner, like, flipping a tank, and Hawkgirl, like, screeching like a demon down a hallway, and then it cuts to, you know, whatever else, and then it cuts back to them again, and like, oh, they've already won. And they're like, oh, that was fun, huh? Well, we did a lot. And Guy's like, yeah, right? And she's like, well, yeah, I'm a hawk. And I'm like, okay, but, like, maybe show that. You know, like, it's weird, Because, like, James Gunn directed Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3, which has, like, 1 billion effing characters in it, and each one of those characters had their own moment to shine. And with this, I felt like he spent too much time on Mr. Terrific, and he barely gave any attention to the other two. They're in it. You know, it's not like they're not in it at all, but, you know, they feel like they should have more scenes, or it feels like something was taken out of the edit or something was taken out of the cut, and it just kind of, you know, I walked out and I'm like, that's kind of weird. It's like in the Batman with Pattinson, right? Like, Alfred's about to die, right? And he's in his deathbed or the hospital or whatever, right? And they're holding hands, and then the bat signal, you know, shows up, and Bruce Wayne, you know, leaves. We never see Alfred again in that movie. Like, we don't see him, we don't hear about him. Maybe he's alive, maybe he's dead, I don't know. They don't talk about it. I guess he just died. I don't know. Or he's fine. Who knows, right? Stuff like that. It's like, you know, there's, if you're going to set up plot points or set up characters, actually show them off, right? Like, actually have them do stuff. It's not a horrible negative, but it is something I wanted to bring up because I feel, you know, without spoiling it, I'm not giving you specific scenes, but there are moments where I'm like, oh, you know, Hawkgirl's, she does, like, one thing, and then that's it. And Mr. Terrific over here has got, like, all these crazy action scenes and these crazy jokes and these crazy scenes. Really weird. So I think, you know, juggling that could have been a little bit better. But overall, man, I genuinely love this movie. I mean, the music is great. The editing is great. The CGI, for the most part, is great. The story's really interesting. I love that we're getting new characters and new ideas and fun Easter eggs into this new DCU. David Cornswet is by far the best Superman for me. It was Henry Cavill, and again, I still love Henry Cavill's Superman. I think he's great. Both are a little bit different, right? Like, both, and that's what I like about it. I really don't like to, again, draw too many comparisons, and I feel like I had to a certain degree, but, I mean, there's people online that are like, which one's better, Man of Steel or Superman? And then whatever one you say, they're like, oh, you're a fake fan, you're a loser, and you should die. You know, it's literally Star Wars rejects all over again. And quite frankly, I'm done with that. So it's just really interesting to me that, like, yeah, like, you're allowed to like both. Like, I love Man of Steel. I also love Superman, you know, just because I like this movie more doesn't mean I hate the other one. And people got to realize that. You're allowed to like or dislike both, right? This does not have to be a tit-for-tat type thing. So it's kind of odd to me that, oh, well, it's not that odd. People are stupid, but you know what I mean. I think that it's a great movie, though. I mean, honestly, I mean, the action's great. The writing is great. The acting is good. Nothing woke, nothing crazy. It has a certain amount of grit to it and violence and edginess without feeling like super... you know, grayed out or dark, like Man of Steel sometimes could feel like, which isn't a bad thing. They're trying to set their own tone. But this one also feels like a little bit of that, I would say, you know, older, like 1978 Superman with some of the jokes and some of the you know, characters they add. And I think they find that balance really well between being, like, you know, this is a mature action film, but it's also got levity, and it has that classic Superman feel. The ending is really sweet and uplifting. It's just a fun, funny, action-packed, good time. I mean, this is a great start to the DCU. This is one of the best DC films ever made, and I think if they keep the momentum going with this level of quality with the DCU, I think they will slowly start to rival the MCU. And again, I don't even want to say rival wholeheartedly because I love Marvel and DC. I don't want there to be a rivalry. I just want both to be good. But at the same time, this is a phenomenal film. I want to see it again in theaters really friggin' bad. And I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray or, you know, Steelbook, whatever I decide to do. But it was great. Again, I mean, I really wanted to give you guys... It's hard to talk about some of the elements in this without spoiling it because a lot of the stuff you see in the trailer is, like, barely the stuff you see in the movie, so there's a lot to this film that you don't see in the marketing. But yeah, man, it's effing great. It's a really good time. It's fun. It's funny. It's action-packed. Cast is great. Action is really good. It's just a really fun time. So tell me down below in the comments what you think about Superman. Don't spoil it in the comments, but if you have seen it, what are your thoughts on it, and what's your favorite Superman film? Is it the ones from the 70s with Reeves? Is it Brandon Ruth? Is it the TV show versions? Cavill, Cornswet, whatever. Don't start World War III in the comments. I really don't effing want that. Just be civil, be nice. We'll have a discussion about Superman down below without spoiling it. And yeah, I can't wait for the future of the DCU and whatever comes next. Apparently Supergirl is releasing next year with Lobo and all that, so that'll be fun. But yeah, hopefully this film makes more money because it deserves it. I think it's a great DC film and a really good start to this new universe. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.